Starting the week off, big downer. Society's getting crazier, it seems. Will that change? Young mom, 24, shot after telling BLM protesters all lives matter during argument about movement. This is from The Sun. It's a right-leaning paper, so keep that in mind, of course. A young mom was shot dead in Indianapolis in front of her fiancé after an argument about the BLM movement. Jessica Doty Whitaker was walking with her partner, Jose Ramirez, and two friends at 3 a.m. on July 5th when they came across four men and a woman, and an argument broke out. Why did it take us a week to hear about this? 3 a.m. though. July 5th. Okay, so obviously after the 4th of July celebrations. 3 a.m., guys. Not blaming anybody if you're out that late, but I would bet a lot of the bad things that happen to people happen after dark. It's common sense, right? The groups clashed over language and the BLM movement. I'll never, probably ever, get that image out of my head of what happened, Ramirez told the local station. According to Ramirez, the groups got into a racially charged argument, and one man pulled out a gun, and so Ramirez did too. One article published by the Daily Wire reported that Doty Whitaker had said all lives matter to the group, who allegedly were supporters of the BLM movement. So allegedly, they're saying. There's her and her son. The Daily Wire spoke to Mr. Doty, her father, to confirm. The article reads, yes, that's accurate. Doty said when asked if his daughter said all lives matter during the argument about BLM. Following the argument, the groups managed to talk things over, and both parties walked away. But minutes later, shots rang out along Canal Court. I was actually holding her when it happened, Ramirez said. She just fell. I turned around, and I opened fire too. But that's just a reaction. I didn't see nobody. Hopefully, it didn't hit nobody. And I get what he's saying in terms of a reaction there. I would give some pushback, though, and say, what is it about life that would lead somebody to have that reaction? Perhaps that's something that's ingrained. Perhaps it's training. I don't know what this gentleman's life is like, but I don't know. You two-way people can let me know. I just don't know that this is the reaction to just randomly turn and fire. Perhaps he's right, though, and him saying, I didn't hit nobody, well, I guess maybe it would have been good if he would have hit somebody within the group that fired the shots. He told Fox 59 it was squashed, and they went up the hill and left, we thought. But they were sitting on St. Clair waiting for us to come under the bridge. And that's when she got shot. Premeditated murder, baby. Doty Whitaker, a home health nurse, was taken to hospital where she died. I'm never going to get to hold her again, her mother said. I just want the people who are responsible to be held accountable. And if it's a group, you would hope, if the facts are the way they're portrayed here, that they hold the entire group accountable. Not saying everybody would get charged with the murder, of course, but to be part of it, to be part of the conspiracy, again, if that's the way things were planned out, I guess we'll have to wait and get more information on this and hear the other side. Ramirez added she shouldn't have lost her life. She's got a 3-year-old son she loved dearly. Explaining to Doty Whitaker's son Grayson that he'll never see his mom again has been the hardest part for the family, he said. It's hard to tell him his mom is in heaven, and if you want to talk to her, you have to look up and say, I love you, Mom, Ramirez said. A GoFundMe has been set up. I'll take a look at that and show you there. It says here, it garnered almost $19,000 in donations, and that was as of the time this article was written. But I have the update. We are asking for you to donate whatever you can To help our family give her the most beautiful service she deserves, the page reads. Also, to help the beautiful son she left behind. That was her pride and joy. On Facebook, Doty Whitaker's father called for justice for his daughter and said he believes the killing is considered a hate crime. A comment posted onto Doty Sr.'s page by a woman calls for more than justice. Demand BLM be labeled a terrorist organization, Elizabeth Lopez wrote on Doty Sr.'s page. I totally agree, Doty Sr. responded. And I'm on board with that as well. It's like I've said many times, it's unfortunate. The mantra itself, it looks great on t-shirts and hats and bumper stickers, but the movement doesn't mean, and you have some individuals within it, it just doesn't carry the weight of what the name says anymore. I've said this in past videos, perhaps in the beginning. When it was founded, it did. Maybe not, based on who the founders were. The organization, it's a great catchphrase. It's great marketing. It's a great slogan. Like I said, millions in merch they'd probably sell. It looks great on a bumper sticker, but in reality, you have to detach the organization's name from what they're all about and some of the individuals within the organization. To me, it's kind of like a black nationalist group. I would equate them to a white nationalist group in the same sense of, if you look at their ideology, what they're about on their page, and the rhetoric coming out of it, to me, they're no different. These far left people, black nationalists, far right white nationalists, all the same to me. The dad also posted a picture showing a recent tattoo of his daughter's name across his shoulder, along with a quote that read, "Have you ever missed someone so much that even the thought of them made you cry?" I hear that. Police are still investigating and searching for suspects. And this is 7 days after, so they're still searching for suspects. We'll see. Somebody's got to talk. Like I always said, when that happened to Officer Dorn during the riots, when what happened to him happened, I was saying, if you get a group of people together, and obviously they had surveillance footage in that one, so it was different, but when you have a group, somebody's going to talk at some point. Somebody's going to tell a girlfriend, somebody's going to tell a cousin, and that somebody that gets told is going to come forward. You hope. I caution, just because you want to hear the other side of the story, for somebody to not have come forward with the other side of the story, at this point, pretty damning, right? All right, so let's read some comments, and I'll show you the GoFundMe. Guns, hey, who would have guessed? Yep, because guns kill people. Just walk away. Well said. And yet the American citizens still support all of their citizens being able to carry arms in a public space. When are they going to learn? Hey, that's David Robinson, though. That's the Admiral. White girl gets racially murdered and nothing is done. No protest, no public outrage. Says it all now. Will there be protests for this white woman? I don't think so. And we know the reason why. Will there be a fund set up for her son? Well, there was a GoFundMe, but they're talking about other funds, probably celebrities. This proves just as many white peoples are killed and abused. More. Perhaps that's true. Proportionality, of course, though. We have to look at the numbers based on population density and everything like that, based on races, if you want to do that thing. Steady on. You could lose your job for pointing out her life mattered. The anti-white campaign is dehumanizing us. All you celebrities, all you big companies, I hope you're happy that this is what you're promoting. These deaths and riots are in your names. True to some degree. They definitely don't care, because the human cost is something they don't see. This girl's just a headline. Secoriea Turner's just a headline. Any other kid, black, white, Asian, whatever color, race, gender, they're just headlines. Until it touches you, you're not really going to care, right? This is the GoFundMe here. You see, when the article was written, it was just at 19, obviously more publicity. Now the thing's jumped up to 56,814. And the original goal was 30,000. It was in a different article I was reading. The one thing I would say, just what I don't like to see is, and this is just me, it's this. I don't think you need to do this. Here's what I like to see when I see a GoFundMe. This is for Secoriea. She was the young girl, 8 years old, shot near the Rayshard Brooks looting that was going on. What group was out there rioting and firing shots that evening? You know. So here's Secoria's. You see, she hit $269,000 of a $100,000 goal. I don't know if that was the original amount. And I get maybe it's a psychology thing, but I like seeing this. I like seeing that versus that. That you know that people stepped up. That you were like, hey, we're hoping we get 10, 20, 30, and then boom, all of a sudden you get 269, obviously, out of a 100K goal. I don't fault them in any way, obviously, but it would have been great to see that 56K of 30,000 goal raised, just to show like people stepped up in Secoria's case. Now, maybe there's something to that where you have to keep bumping it up like they did with George Floyd. I don't know. But that's just being nitpicky. Just for me, I just like to see that way, that people saw a goal, stepped up, and went above and beyond it. All of that said, it was a week ago, and I'm just finding out about it now. Don't recall seeing it on the news that much. Probably was only covered on local news. So, got to keep an eye on this and see what happens. See if somebody talks, see if somebody comes forward with some information. So that, as I said, we can get the other side of the story if there is one. And then, if there isn't one, if it went down how they said, and it was just a bunch of animals lying in wait, premeditated murder, that the justice system can get involved, and whatever form justice takes, hopefully that's sufficient for Jessica and her family. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Be well.